What's the best part about working in an abortion clinic? You don't have to buy dog food anymore. What's up, weirdos? Scott here. Thanks again for visiting the channel. As always, I appreciate it. If this is your first time to the channel, I'm sure you've already stopped watching, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the content. Please do me a favor, follow me on Instagram. It's let's_do it up on Instagram, LETS_DOITUP. And if you'd like to send a knife or knives into the channel for review, just send me an email at letsdiu79@gmail.com. letsdiu79@gmail.com. If you just send me an email, I'll send you my shipping address. You can send me the knife or knives. I will spend a week or two with them, review them, and then send them back to you in the same condition in which I received them. And today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, we've got a very special unboxing for you today. I have already unboxed this knife. I did a recording doing an unboxing on this knife, but there was a bit of an issue with the blade, a little bit of a blemish on it. So I talked to Matthew Westberg, and he told me to just go ahead and send the knife back to him. He, excuse me, polished and re-etched the blade. And now the blemish is apparently gone. I did start this video with the packaging, but when I got the package open, it looked like there were some grind marks on the handle, little white marks. I'll show you that in just a few minutes here, but I had to stop the video because I didn't know if that was something that was on there permanently or if it was just a smudge or what, but it took a little bit of doing, but I got it off of there. I'm not sure what it was, but I had to get some Windex and clean it off that way because it wouldn't come off just with me wiping it. But I'm going to open this up so you guys don't have to wait anymore. I'm sorry. So I bought the Berg Blades Barber about 2 months ago. And as I said, there was a little bit of a blemish on the blade, and with this being such an expensive knife and such an awesome steel, I wanted to have that fixed before I showed this off on the channel. And Matt Westberg was very gracious about it. Said just send it back to me and I'll fix it, which he did. So that was pretty awesome. So this is the Berg Blades Barber. This is the most recent version that he's released. He did make it a button lock. It used to be a standard frame lock knife, titanium frame lock knife. But I've wanted one of these for as long as I can remember. I love the fact that it's a front flipper or top flipper, whatever the hell you want to call it. I love the thumb studs on this guy. I love the aesthetics of this knife. It's a beautiful knife and absolutely love the blade. I'll go ahead and show you that. Boom. So look at this, guys. This blade is absolutely gorgeous. I can't describe to you how happy I am with this. This is the first knife that I've ever owned in Damasteel, and I absolutely love it. It's such a beautiful contrast here. I was showing a knife to my buddy at work, and I was showing him the CIVIVI AMIRITE, and I explained to him, you know, that CIVIVI Damascus and CGRB Damascus and all that stuff, they're pretty good steels. But the regular steels in CIVIVI's lineup, 14C28N, D2, stuff like that, it sometimes will treat you a little bit better than low-end Damascus will. Low-end Damascus does not mean bad Damascus. It just means that there wasn't a lot of, you know, there's a lot more work that goes into something like this than there is to that goes into something like this. And that's why these are less expensive, obviously. This knife, when I bought it, was $120 or $110, something like that. This knife was $550, and that's only because it doesn't have the titanium, or sorry, the Damascus pocket clip and backspacer. That one was $700. So I just went with the Damasteel blade just because I wanted to have a Damasteel blade in my collection. I'm very happy that I did. Like I said, there were some small issues with this knife when I got it, but Matt Westberg fixed those very, very quickly. So I'm very happy with that. I'll go ahead and get rid of this guy. I don't know if he has his website on here at all, but this is the COA production barber, Damasteel, titanium scales, tie or black tie hardware, and it is a button lock. And there you can see Matt's signature. And here is his card that you give with the knife. Just says Berg Blades, Arizona, Matt Westberg, and here is his website if you guys want to take that down and contact him for any reason. So let's just do a quick first impressions on this knife. I'm not going to do the review just because I haven't really done much with this knife. I did keep it and play with it for a little while, but I didn't really do much with it, like I said, before I sent this back to Matt. So this knife overall is 7.75 inches overall. I don't know if they might be a little bit longer than that, but it's hard to tell with the angle. The actual blade itself is I'm going to say just over, about 3.25 inches all the way back to the scale here. And I'm going to call this a 2.8 cutting edge. So that's not terrible. The blade is a little shorter than I normally go for, but I absolutely love this knife, so I had no problem with the fact that this was a little bit of a smaller bladed knife. You have the Damasteel blade here. You've got a flat ground that comes up to about 60% the height of the blade. You do have a flat here that carries out all the way to the tip of this portion of the blade. The tip goes out a little further, as you can see on the bottom here. There's no swedge, there's no fuller. That's okay. I like the Damasteel blades to kind of be left alone so that they can just shine on their own. He does put his logo here on the show side of the blade, which is fine by me. And there's nothing on the opposite side here. You can see that this is ground to look like a straight razor or a barber's blade, something like that, which is, I'm guessing, why he called it the barber. You've got fantastic thumb studs up here. They've got some milling to them, so they give you a little bit of grip, but you don't have to worry about the top being too pointy or the milling being too aggressive or anything like that. The thumb studs work fantastic on this guy, and the front flipper is absolutely a joy to use. I'm not very good with front flippers, you guys already know that. But this guy works great. This is an absolute fidget machine. I sat around playing with this guy for hours and hours and hours when I had it. I absolutely love the acoustics of this knife. Let me see if I can get you the acoustics. That's with the front flipper with the thumb studs. Sounds about the same. And the reverse flick is very well done on this guy as well. The detent or the plunge lock on this guy is tuned perfectly so that you can do the reverse flick with no problem, you can do the thumb flick with no problem, and you can do the front flip with no problem whatsoever. This guy is such a joy to use. Ergonomically, it's fantastic. I like the way it's open down here. You've got this groove here for your index finger. You can choke up on this guy a little bit. I don't know that I'd call this a full forward finger choil for everybody out there, but for people with normal sized fingers, I think this finger choil is perfect. I can use it, but I have to be kind of careful because my finger gets kind of close to that cutting edge there. The knife itself has all T8 hardware on it. T8s on the screws, T8s on the bodies, T8s on the pivot. And as you can see, all the hardware here has been bronze anodized. You've got a little bit of jimping up here. You have more aggressive jimping out where the thumb goes, and then you have thinner jimping here for the front flipper. And obviously there's nothing that comes out at the bottom that stops you from choking up on the knife. Titanium scales, which are very generously milled out. I don't know if you can see that or not. But yeah, you've got quite a bit of skeletonization on these titanium scales here, making it very, very light. Titanium backspacer, obviously. What else can I say about this guy? Pocket clip's a titanium, milled titanium pocket clip, which I like just fine. It comes in and out of the pocket effortlessly. It's not too tight, not too loose. I'd say it's perfect. I like the pivot on this guy. I like the way they have everything bronze anodized, especially the thumb studs. It gives this knife a little bit of contrast and just a little bit of pop of color to it. As you can see, it's very easy to manipulate with the thumb stud or the other thumb stud with the reverse finger flick or the front flipper. Very fidgety knife, very fun to play with. Let me see if I can get you a weight here. Okay. Make sure this guy's zeroed out. Close her up. And perfect. Okay, so I believe this is under 5 ounces. Yeah, 4.8 ounces overall. Not terribly heavy. Fits in the pocket just fine. Maybe I'll do some size comparisons here too. Do you guys want to see the blade stock thickness as well? I'll give you that. just for fun. I don't think this is currently available right now, but it will be coming back around sometime within the near future, I'm guessing. So yeah, this is 155 thousandths overall on the blade stock thickness, which is perfect for me. It don't really bother. It doesn't bother me when knives have a very thin profile, especially with something like this being like a razor blade. But the stock thickness is pretty thick, 155 thousandths. But as they get down, you have quite an aggressive hollow ground here, so it does get very, very thin down towards the edge. Size comparisons, I'll open this guy back up for you and just do my normal size comparison stuff. Compared to the Rat Model 1, the Rat obviously is going to be quite a bit longer than this knife. The Rat Model 2 is going to be much shorter than this knife, as you can see. Next up is going to be the RSK MK1 G2 from Ritter Hogue. That one's going to be just a little bit longer than this knife. And the 80-20.5 is going to be just a hair shorter than the Berg Barber. Last but certainly not least, the Spyderco knives. The Spyderco Paramilitary 2. I don't have my... Oh, there it is. Sorry. Spyderco Paramilitary 2 is going to be just a little bit longer than this knife. And the Para 3 is going to be a little bit shorter than the Berg Barber. Carry profile. See how thick this guy is compared to the Para 3. Alright, so the Barber is going to be just a little bit thicker than the Para 3. Height on this guy, let's go to the highest point on the blade. It looks like it's going to be that little hump there. And you can see that this is nowhere near as tall as the Para 3. So great in the pocket, great weight, great action, very, very fidgety. Love the button lock on this guy. It makes this guy an absolute dream to play with. And I know we're not supposed to play with knives, but it's not really what I mean. It's just, you know, fidgeting with this guy. I don't think that this is something I would take out in public and play around with, just because it's a little bit aggressive looking and might scare some people. But as far as being a fidgeter for this, you know, for this purpose, for being a knife guy, which I just failed the knife, it's a very, very fidgety knife. I absolutely love it. I think it's got a fantastic design. I really thank Matt Westberg for fixing this up for me, taking those blemishes out of the blade, and I really appreciate him getting this back to me in a timely manner. I think that's going to be it for this unpackaging or unboxing or whatever the hell you want to call it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. And stay up, weirdos. Take it easy. Bye.